YouTube channel. If you're new, please subscribe and like this video, and please guys leave your suggestions on the comment box, and also let me know some of the topics that you wish I would talk about, and I'll actually do just that. So without any further ado, you know what we do every week. We talk about relationships, and today is no different. We'll be talking about how to revive your marriage, and I'm praying to God that all the tips that I'm giving you guys, they're actually working for you guys, because at the end of the day, my goal is to make sure that you guys have a great relationships and your marriages are actually working, because a lot of people are divorcing, and that is not good, because we're supposed to be loving each other and actually having a good marriage. All right, without any further ado, let's talk about today's topic, which is how to revive your marriage. All right guys, so the first tip that I want to share with you guys is date nights. Okay, I know that some people might say that date nights are actually being overrated, but the truth of the matter is they're not overrated. Date nights are very helpful in a relationship. I know sometimes we think that when we spend time together at home is actually helping our relationship, but that is not spending time together, because most of the time what happens is we get home from work, both of you sit down next to one another on a couch, or on the couch, on the seat, and then you sit next to each other, and then you're watching TV, you're on the phone, both of you are on the phone, you're trying to eat, and you find out that you're actually not spending time together. You're actually neglecting one another because you're trying to do so many things at the same time. But if you have a date night and you put aside a day, time and date, and then you go out and then you guys focus on one another, you'll realize that you're not only focusing on one another, but you actually have time to yourselves, and you actually are able to talk about the things that you're not able to talk about, the things that you've been meaning to talk about to one another. So I also want to say, when you go out on a date night, please leave your phones at home, or actually switch them off, so that you guys can be able to focus on one another without any disturbance from anybody. All right, and then the second thing that I want to talk about is actually communication. And I know that I've been talking about communication throughout my YouTube channel, but today the type of communication that I'm talking about is communicating about the small things that happens to you on a daily basis, because your spouse is actually supposed to be your best friend. Don't just say, oh, that's my husband. No, it's not just your husband. That is your best friend slash boyfriend slash best friend slash your lover slash everything. That person's supposed to be your everything that is good, and you want to share everything with your person. So communication is very important and should be done effectively. And you want to talk about everything, even the things that happen to you at work, things that happen to you while you were at the shopping center. Everything you want to talk to your spouse about, so that they can know what's happening in your life, and you can feel free to know that you have a best friend. All right, and then the third thing that I want to talk about, that I feel like we should be doing in our relationship so that we can revive it, is studying one another. It's very important to study one another and to chase one another. So what happens is, when we are dating and the first time we meet, or first time we have a crush on one another, we actually pursue one another and we study each other. You want to know what he likes, where he goes, who he chills with, the things that he doesn't like. All of those things are still important even when you are married, because the truth of the matter is, women evolve, and men, the things they liked 10 years ago or 5 years ago, it's not the same things they like today. So you want to study your spouse, you want to still understand what they like and don't like, so that you can know when to not step on their toes, and you can know when to help them when they have their weaknesses. So you actually want to study their weaknesses, their strength, so that you can actually be there to help them and actually make them the better person that you know they can actually be. All right, and then the fourth thing that we're gonna talk about is looking good. So most of the time what happens is when we are in a marriage or when we've been married for some time, quite some time, we forget that we're actually supposed to look good for our spouses, and then we forget that we're supposed to go out there and make sure that we buy those nice clothes, or we make sure that the clothes that we've been putting in our, that are actually already in our closet, that we take them out and then we make sure that we wear them so that our spouse can know that we still got it. All right, so as a man, you want to go out and then cut your hair, look good for your spouse, for your wife, and then as a wife, you want to go out there and then look good for your husband so that they can still see you attractive, and you're always not always just on your pajamas, as they know that when they come home you're always on your pajamas. So you want to give them a shock and show them that you can still be spontaneous and you can still look good if you want to for them, because they matter to you. All right, and then the last thing that I want to talk about that will actually help us to actually revive our marriage is spending time together. I know that I've spoken about date nights. I know somebody will be like, date nights, now we're spending time together. Yes, it's important, because when you were dating, you used to spend time together all the time, and now what has changed? Because those are the things that actually made us become attracted to one another, and when they're not happening, it actually leaves a gap in our hearts because we're no longer doing the things that we used to do. So you want to spend time together. I know I'm not naive that sometimes we actually have things that we need to do in our separate ways. So what can actually happen is you can say, for instance, say the wife has to go for shopping, to buy things in the house, for the things in the house, and then the husband, say for instance, he has to go for golfing. Say maybe on a Saturday he likes golfing, you like to go shopping for some of the things that you are not able to buy during the week. What can happen? You can go golfing with him in the morning, and then afterwards you can go shopping together. Because what happens is when people are married, they stop spending time together, and that brings a lot of issues in their relationship, because you become distant towards one another, and you're not able to communicate, you don't spend time together, you don't do things together, and you find most wives, they spend time with their girlfriends instead of with their husband. And you want to change that so that you guys can become stronger, closer than ever before, and you become best friends, you become one, as the Bible says that two will become one, and you will actually want to be that with your spouse, and that will actually bring your marriage close together, and you guys will realize that you need one another. All right, without any further ado, guys, thanks so much for listening to my video. Please remember to leave your suggestions in the comment box, and I will listen to them and I will actually read them. And thank you guys for supporting me. Love you guys. Mwah. Goodbye.